got the tail cone of the left and the right MD-87 fuselage, and I'm going to be cutting the pockets for the engine nacelles. Here's a look at the left nacelle, and this would be the bottom side, and then this is the right one without the nacelle plugged in. Now what I need to do now is cut out this section here so that the main frame of the plywood mount can recess in, because this piece of wood here actually comes back and sits in there like that, so it would actually be flush like this. And then I have this cavity here that's got to come out all the way across, because this here is where this section here is. So you can see I have the plywood on the back side here, which would be this piece of plywood here, which actually goes here, and then we have the block of hardwood, which is this block here, and then this piece of plywood, which is going to be right in front of this block here. Here's a look at taping the two tail cones back together, and I guess the moment of truth. So first we'll take this nacelle and put it together and plug it in. Easily done with one hand. And then we'll do this one. And there's a look at the nacelles after they've been plugged in. Here's an overview of the MD-87 tail section, and I'm just about ready to put all this together. It's mocked up right now. The final pieces, the production run pieces for the 90mm fan mounts, they have been cut. I did a little rework with them, and but you can look here and see how they are being mounted. There is one piece of hardwood here. There's a piece of plywood block on the back side that gives a bigger footprint, and that's actually trapped inside there. That'll be epoxied in place. This block of wood will be epoxied in place, and the strip going across here will be epoxied in place. All of this has been notched via the CNC machine, so I have a really good fit on everything. In order to remove or service a fan, I can take out this screw here, take out these two screws here, which I can get to the nuts on the back side. You can see I can be able to get to the nuts here. Then this ring, this rear ring, will actually slide back, and then the engine will actually slide out of the ring. So the only thing that'll be left attached to the fuselage, and that's a permanent attachment, is going to be this ring here, and of course the piece going across. But the housing here will be able to be removed. Also, I have a tongue back here. I just have this piece of wood simulating it right now, but that tongue will be about 1.5 inches wide, and that's going to secure the rear part of the nacelle. Here you can see a nacelle and the way that it's cut, and what I'll do is I'll sand that smooth and cover it, and then once it's covered, then it'll be attached just like I'm going to attach this one. You line up the rails here with the grooves, and then it goes into the slot, and now you can see that I'm able to pull this up. So now I have that part mounted, and if we take a look, you can see that it's just friction fit in place. Now notice this piece of wood here. Like I say, that's going to be a tongue that eventually I will cut, and also this cavity here will have a piece of hardwood in it. So whenever I put this all together and add the second piece, which I'll do now, and I'm going to try to do this where you can see it. I'm actually going to take this and drop it, lining up the plywood groove or plywood rails here with the grooves, and then it's sliding this down in place. And now you can see that by closing this and then looking here, you can see how that went inside that pocket. And again, that piece of plywood will be underneath this, and I will have a piece of hardwood also mounted in the nacelle here. So I'll have one screw in the back that will go all the way through and tie the top and the bottom together. So now you can see how the finish here is with the pieces being in a pocket. And if we look at this one here, you can see that it's actually in there, in that pocket all the way around. I can remove the nacelles pretty easily in order to get into the engines if need be.